Right, so this is an update on the whole kind of trench, the water saving trench kind of gardening system. If you want to see a video on how I actually built and how I went about it, click on this little annotation here and it'll open in a new tab as well for you. So basically things are going really well, but there's a huge array of little problems that I'm having because of course I'm growing just in sand. But in 30 days, I mean, if you can see the sweet corn there, in 30 days from sowing the seed to actually now it's grown about 2 feet in some places. Just incredible amount of growth. Anyway, let's take a closer look. Right, I want to talk about the problems first. Obviously, you know, having grown this in 30 days it's amazing, you know, but I also want to teach the kind of problems that I'm having so we all can learn from it. And basically problem number one is that when you grow in just sand, and I'm not even talking about sandy soil, you just grow in pure sand, and I did that on the ground, I added some compost, but if you grow in just sand, when it rains it becomes pretty much like quicksand, and that means that the plants are going to fall over. Now sweet corn, of course, being a very tall plant, will of course fall over, and if it kind of rocks around a lot, that means it's going to get stressed, and any plant that gets stressed, whether through drought, underwatering, overwatering can be stressful, not enough nutrients, shaking about too much at the roots, what can happen is that it gets stressed and it goes to seed early, and of course we don't want that because we don't get any proper crops, especially with the sweet corn. So that's problem number one. Solution, of course, is I put a stake on either side and I put a string on either side of the sweet corn, and that's kind of holding them in place now. And I can also, of course, twist the string at some point when they get thicker or taller and tie maybe another string across as well, and that'll hold them in place. Now the second problem brings me on to this lovely bed that I showed you also as a kind of an example in the first video. You can see, of course, I had to build a kind of a climbing structure around the beans, because I planted the beans when the sweet corn was about that high, and normally that is enough because beans are much slower compared to the sweet corn in the west than they would be here in the tropics. Now in the tropics they just grow like crazy, the beans, so they really outgrow the sweet corn. So this whole kind of three sister thing in the tropics is much more of a challenge, because you need to wait until the sweet corn is at least 2 feet tall before you can actually plant your beans. Now, this brings me on to my real problem, which is lack of magnesium and probably boron as well in the actual sandy soil. And that's quite common with sandy soil, is that these nutrients are actually missing. And in order to remedy that, I've taken, just yesterday I got some Epsom salts. I'm going to spray some of that onto the leaves, and I'm also going to water the actual plants, the roots, with Epsom salts. Epsom salts is pure magnesium, so that should fix the problem in time. But they're making flowers already, so if I can just get a few beans from these Madeira runner beans, common beans, then I will actually be doing really well, and I can start again in maybe some soils that have some clay added and more kind of well broken down compost as well. And that is basically the real fix, is to have well broken down compost to the whole thing, but I didn't have it. So that's problem 2 at the moment. But look at these beans, they're just incredible. I mean, this is 30 days. Unbelievable. Right, what's with the pink netting? Now I wanted to talk about 2 more things as well before I get on to problem number 3. First of all, I did have some beans planted in here as part of the three sister thing, but they would have been already that high, and of course I didn't want to do the whole kind of structure thing again. So I just kind of pulled them all out, put them on the surface here. They're already gone, rotten away very fast in this tropics. Now, second thing I want to talk about is I had some spare pumpkins, so I stuck them in there. We have this orange beetle, pumpkin beetle, and basically with the three sisters, they munch them all away. They eat the leaves, the roots, the pumpkins itself. They even eat that. So this one, I don't know how it survived, but I can't envision it doing much. It's been that size for the last, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, so I can't see it doing much. Hence my reason for planting them all under this cover, and they're kind of doing alright, but this one is also, you know, starting to lack magnesium as well, so I'm going to have to put some magnesium in there, and these ones are doing pretty good. So just a way of protecting them from this beetle. Wow, it's hot. So, final problem that I'm facing here is that my sweet corn is, due to stress, of course due to, you know, like shaking about, and of course, as I mentioned, lack of magnesium and not having well broken down compost, these guys are actually tasseling up too soon. And that means basically that they're growing these tassels at the top, which is where the male pollen actually is produced. And when that happens too soon, it's not good, because it kind of shows that the plant wants to go to seed too soon. And they haven't even formed cobs yet. And this won't be a problem, because they're still going to grow a good bit before the tassel actually grows. But usually it happens at about 3 to 4 feet height. And these are about 2 feet height. So it's happening a bit too soon. But as I said, they will still be okay. They will still make cobs, smaller cobs. I'll still get seeds, which is what I'm about. And maybe next time I'm growing them, I can actually get bigger cobs and make them, you know, the plant genetics still will be there, but I might be able to get bigger cobs. But I'm pretty happy with the outcome. 35 days and they're already this large, and I'm going to do another update soon. So I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching. And it's way too hot to be out here talking to you guys, so I'm going off. I'm going to have a cool lemonade or something. Thanks for watching.